So welcome to another special Corona Geek. I'm here with Tasman Singh from Flurry. Tasman is a developer evangelist, and today we're going to talk about Flurry and everything that you can do with it. So Tasman, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So Tasman's in town. We did an event over at Capital Factory, a meetup event there. You had a great turnout, I thought.
Yeah, I think the event went really well. And when we come back to Austin, we hope to see all of you there. The event was called Pizza Beer Mobile, so we are taking it all across the country. And we're basically having panel discussions with people who have been there, done that, and can kind of pass their wisdom on to everyone in the mobile space.
Been there, done that.
Yes.
I love that. So, okay, so for those who haven't been there and done that, tell them what Flurry is and what they can do with it.
Yeah. Okay, Flurry is a mobile app analytics suite that allows you to understand what users are doing in your app, how many users are there, and it's something that really allows you to get almost as granular as you want. So the more you instrument in your app, the more we'll be able to tell you about it. So on a very core level, even if you do nothing else other than install the SDK, which takes less than 5 minutes, you'll be able to see sessions, time spent, active users, all of those kinds of things. And then if you want to get fancy, we'll show you the data when you want to get fancy.
Okay, so I personally have been there, done that. I've used Flurry in a few of my apps. And so before we finish the conversation today, I want to talk about best practices. Mm-hmm. But I know that you guys have made a lot of changes because as we were getting set up for this talk, we're looking at the dashboard and all the different reporting features and stuff like that. And a lot of the user interface has completely changed from what I've experienced in the past. So tell us about some of the changes.
Yeah, so the all-new Flurry was launched a few months ago, and right now it's in GA. So if you go in the tool, you'll kind of automatically be ported to the new experience. So one of the major changes we've made from the design perspective is now we've made dashboards where you can see up to 5 apps at once, and all in one screen. You can kind of toggle them on and off to see what you want. And in addition to that, you can create groups for apps. So if you have an Android and iOS version of the same app and you want to see those both together, or you want to see all of your Android apps together, those will all get grouped in a way that you can see them more easily. In addition to that, we've added real-time metrics, so those update every 15 seconds. And then I think the coolest thing that we've added is the new Explorer tool. So it allows you to do the equivalent of writing really complex SQL queries, but you get the answer in within a matter of seconds. And in that we've included segmentation, funnel analysis, and cohort analysis. And so that's what I was saying earlier, where if you give us the data you want to track, we allow you to get really fancy with that and get very in-depth in understanding what's going on.
Are there any sort of best practices that you recommend for somebody? Because it just seems like a blank canvas that you can do anything with.
Yeah, so my number one recommendation is if you're just starting out, you must include analytics from the very beginning. As part of my role, I go and meet with a lot of developers, and they're either seasoned developers or first-timers, but one of the things I hear over and over again is, I started my app and I just wanted to get it launched, got the first 1,000 users, and I have no idea what they were doing in the app. So my recommendation is, even if you do nothing else before launching the app, make sure you include analytics, so at least you can understand how many users are coming, what time they're spending in the app, and those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. Then when you're ready to take it to the next step, another thing we see is that people don't put custom events in their app. And so you kind of have two ends of the spectrum. You'll have people who don't put any custom events, and then people who go crazy with the custom events. So when you are going to get ready to do that, we really say, think about the events that are really going to be important for you to track. You can't track everything, and even if you do, there's too much noise. But a lot of times it comes to thinking about what are your business objectives, what are your KPIs, what is your true north metric, and then move forward with figuring out, okay, is this an event that I need to track in order to understand if that's happening? So maybe an example would be if you have a news app And one of the ways you're monetizing is through sponsored content or ads that you're placing within certain sections. So having an article view or an ad click might be an important one to have. But we don't need to know every single thing about all of the articles unless that's something that's very critical to how we're going to structure the app differently in the future.
So really better to keep it simple and then add on the things that you absolutely need than to try to collect everything and then just be overwhelmed by it.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and in some systems, like in Flurry, there's actually a limit on the number of events you can track. And we do this partially because we don't want you to get overwhelmed. But we also offer a 2-level event structure. So you have the custom event and then you have the parameters that are associated with it. So with the parameters, you can get really deep. So if you have a custom event like article view, you could create a parameter like article author or article genre and those kinds of things. So we do allow you to have a lot of granularity with understanding more about each of those custom events as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have documentation on our site. So we have a Flurry plugin.
Yes.
But for someone who wants to get started with Flurry and educate themselves, what should they do?
Yeah, so you should go to developer.yahoo.com, and then there's a Flurry tab on there, and then that's where you can get started with documentation and learning more about some of the new stuff that we've worked on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Tasman, I appreciate you being here.
Yes, thanks for having me. Can we start this part?
Yeah. Just pick up where I'll do the edits. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, I've never done one of these, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of times people are like, so what are you doing? I'm like, hold on, I wasn't ready for that. Yeah, that should have.
Okay. All right.